So, it's time for me to talk about one of those things I cannot live without and can really have for an entire week straight. This is one of those things cinnamon rolls. But I will be making it with a twist. This is me making a cinnamon rolls cake, part one. We begin with making the dough. Now, before we get any further, I guess you're all wondering why a cinnamon roll cake? Well, it was my birthday during the lockdown and I love cinnamon rolls. Now, in a bowl, add the sugar, melted butter, and milk, mix that together. What you want to do is gradually add the flour. We are going to create a liquid dough, like I call it, but it's basically a batter. And this is going to be the base for this recipe. And do not worry if your liquid dough looks like a fat cake's batter. Just trust the process and follow the recipe. It will all come together in the end. And allow this to rise for about 45 minutes to an hour. Now, while we are waiting for the liquid dough to rise, time to make the sweet cinnamon filling. Grab some softened butter and please make sure the butter is soft. This will all make sense in about a minute. Add the trickle sugar, the ground cinnamon, and mix this together. Now, this is the part where it gets tricky. Because of the weather, the butter would just not get soft. It was way too cold and I could not wait forever for the butter to get soft. So I decided to just carry on with the recipe. It was too tough for me to mix with a spatula. I decided, you know what? I'm just going to put on some gloves and do it by hand. And I think in the end, it worked out pretty good. Now that the nightmare butter is over, time to knead the dough. Flour the surface before you start working. Flip over all the liquid dough onto the floured surface. And add the flour gradually until the dough is not sticky anymore. Continue to knead it softly while folding in until the dough is ready. Once the dough is not sticky and well kneaded, start rolling it out into a large square. Ensure to flour the surface and the rolling pin continuously. Time to spread the sweet cinnamon filling. As you can see, the butter was still a little bit tough. Once you are satisfied, cut the corner pieces to get an equal, clean shape. Try to do a better job with the shape than I did. Then roll up the dough. Ensure that you tuck it in very tightly. Then once you are satisfied with your roll, cut the dough into even pieces. You can use a knife or a clean floss for clean slices. Do not throw away the offcuts. You can also roll it up and bake it. It is still delicious. And look at that clean, beautiful roll. As you can see, I am cutting my pieces a little bit large because I am going to use those pieces for the base of my cake when I build it later. Once you are done, grab 2 round baking trays, grease them with butter, cut baking paper in a circle big enough to fit the base of the baking trays. This is to prevent the rolls from getting stuck at the bottom when you bake it. And place all your rolls on the baking tray and leave a tiny bit of space in between them. Allow this to rise again before baking and come back again for the exciting part 2 and find out more of why I made this recipe.